Hello everyone, this is my second blog post of this second semester of my sophomore year. My name is Yudi Namdi and I am in the Frederick Douglass Distinguished Scholars Program at American University. Now the book that I'm going to be reviewing is called The Power of Habit, Why We Do What We Do in Life and Business by Charles Duhigg. And as usual, the questions I'll be answering are: what did you learn from the book? What did you learn about yourself from the book? How will you apply the lessons that you've learned to your life? And what you recommend the book to others. Now, first off, what I learned from the book. The book is basically about the psychology, neurology, sociology of habit formation. And it's divided up into three parts: how we use habits in our individual lives, how we can use it in successful companies and organizations, and how habits are used in societies as a force for social change. It focuses on how there is a pattern in habit formation and creation that goes from a cue to a routine and to a reward. And this unlocking the secrets, or not secrets, but unlocking the meaning behind each of these three main components of habit formation and understanding the biological basis and understanding what causes them can help you create better habits. And it focuses, one thing that I really liked about the book is how it focuses on how so-called keystone habits, which are synonymous with small wins, create cultures of change, and they treat you like changing a keystone habit can cause you to reprogram all other habits in your life. And it also changed my perception on life in terms of viewing everything that we do as some sort of habit, which is a very interesting way of thinking, and one that I'll probably start employing a lot more frequently, especially on the organizational level. I found really, really intriguing, and I'll go into that a little bit later. But what did I learn about myself slash how am I going to apply these lessons to my life? Now, immediately I thought of what are some habits that I could change. Right now I feel like I'm in a crucial juncture in my life where there are a lot of habits that I would like to change, because I feel like my old habits are no longer working for me as well as they did in the past. And so I identified things such as eating poorly, procrastination and time management not working out, and now that I'm in college, for me on a personal level, not being as spiritual as I was before. So the book is very clear on the fact that you can't extinguish an existing bad habit. Rather, you can only change and replace it. And also, like I mentioned, the keystone habits, these two main concepts in the book are things that I want to apply to my life. So, for example, the book draws a strong correlation between academic success and willpower and self-discipline. And it also identifies going to the gym as an example used in past experiments as a primary keystone habit that teaches discipline. And so, how I plan on applying this to my life, if you can't tell, I'm very excited, is by setting up a system in which I'm motivated to go to the gym regularly and slowly increasing the amount of time and what I do at the gym. And hopefully, this will teach me discipline that can change my way of thinking, that can be applied to time management and schoolwork. Because currently, when it comes to schoolwork, I've been identified as a so-called perfectionist procrastinator. And what people mean by that is my form of procrastination is a bit different. While some people might, for example, find a new show on Hulu to watch instead of doing an assignment because they know they have like a week to do the assignment. Rather, I will focus in on one small assignment or one thing that appears productive on the surface, but I will go so deep into that thing so that I can continue working, continue working, continue working. So I know that I'm working on something. However, I'm only spending that amount of time perfecting that one small task because I'm too afraid, so I don't feel like moving on to the next task, and that serves as my form of procrastination. So hopefully the discipline I'll learn. Another thing that I think I'll start doing is making my bed. as crazy as it sounds, this book definitely shows the relationship between just having small wins, essentially, that will change your manner of thinking and apply it to other areas of your life. So rather than tackling my time management head on, I'm going to rather try to formulate a culture of change through changing keystone habits, such as going to the gym. In terms of the cue routine reward pattern, I'm thinking maybe I can go to the gym after our Frederick Douglass Singer Scholar seminars. That'll serve as my cue. My routine obviously will be whatever I do at the gym, and then I'm yet to think of a good reward. So I'm still working on it, but that's what I plan on changing. Another thing that I found interesting about the book is how when it talked about people who are former alcoholics and what causes their change to remain consistent and for them to remain sober is being embedded in a community of belief. I found that so strong. And a lot of them were Christians, and they would attribute their success to God. And what the book said is it might not necessarily be God, because that's the book was very scientific and everything was very methodical and had a lot of experiments to back it up. But since you can't test religion per se, what they said is it's rather being in a community of people in which belief in sustained change and just belief in general is the norm and accepted, and being in that community changes the way you think and enables that habit that you've already established to remain. So I honestly think that Frederick Douglass Distinguished Scholars much of the time can be a community, a strong community. But however, I think that one community that I'm lacking in school as opposed to home that is very different is my church community. And while I have been kind of in and out in different church communities here in DC, I think that pursuing one main one and sticking with it as a habit might also be something that will help with my academic success. I know that was a long-winded answer. Another interesting thing to do, it sets up a framework for changing your habits. Identify the routine, experiment with rewards, isolate the cue, and it explains that the main habitual cues are location, time, emotional state, other people, and the action immediately preceding the action that you're trying to change or the bad habit. So these are all things that I'm going to apply to my life, and I'll keep you guys updated on the results. Hopefully they're good. Hopefully I make my bed tomorrow morning. But would I recommend this book to others? Absolutely, without a doubt, yes. This is one of my favorite books that we've had to read for the program. I loved it. The book is full of copious amounts of anecdotes that are not just Susie, Joe did this and then her life was great. No, it's about actual companies that you've heard of, such as Febreze, Songs, Outkast, Hey Ya, how that became popular. The civil rights movement was used as an example for habit formation in society at large. It was just a really good book. I like the way it was formatted. I like the tone. I like the diagrams. It was not what I was expecting. It actually looked like it was going to be a good book, but it wasn't. It was better than I expected, basically. It had a very useful appendix for applying habit formation to your actual life, and I like the use of scientific terms in neurology and psychology without being difficult to understand. So that was my blog post. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll keep you updated on my experiences with habit formation. Thanks. Bye.